Alright guys, this is my second video talking more football. Got some news today on a trade that I want to discuss, and beyond that we'll just talk some NFL, some big news stories, and let me know any comments you guys want me to talk about next, and I'll get some videos out in the next week or two, and we'll keep talking. The big news today was the Steelers trading Minka Fitzpatrick to the Dolphins for Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. I think there was a seventh and a fifth round pick swap involved as well, which, as we know, is another huge deal. But to me, this clears up some things that was in question before. First of all, I think for the Steelers' sake, they know the next year or two. After the next year or two, there's going to be some retooling. There's going to be some changes being made in the organization, and this only enhances the fact that that will be going on. For example, Jalen Ramsey probably, I think he's 29 years old, probably one or two more seasons in his prime to go chase a ring. Obviously, Aaron, we think when we pretty much know this is going to be his last year. Cameron Hayward in the last year of his contract, I believe he's obviously up there nearing retirement any season now. So they know that they're going all in. They're going to do what they can this year to just squeak out wins. It's going to be a lot of 12, 13 personnel with multiple tight ends. They have obviously Fryermuth, Darnell Washington, and now Jonnu. They're going to be running the ball a lot, playing a lot of multiple tight end sets, and it's not going to be a lot of explosive plays. I mean, DK will be a downfield threat, but beyond that, it's going to be a lot of multiple tight end sets, a lot of running the ball, a lot of winning, 13-10, 17-13, 17-14, stuff like that. It's not going to be, the Steelers are not going to be putting up, 30s and 40s in terms of points this year. So clear direction for the Steelers. I think this clears it up. They got one or two more years where they're going to be trying to get over that hump, and then after that, it's going to be just some retooling, possibly going with a young QB again and reshaping how things are going. Obviously, they're probably sick of being a first round exit in the playoffs, and this is their way of trying to get over that hump, trying to pursue and chase, a divisional round, second round, breaking that cycle of just losing first round of the playoffs every year. And as for the Dolphins, I think this also clears some things up. Obviously, they were looking to get rid of Jalen Ramsey anyways, but what this really does is this gives them some leadership that they desperately need. Clearly, there were some issues last year with people being late for meetings. I think there was a report that the fines for being late to meetings weren't really working, weren't really doing much. I think a lot of that was coming from the Dolphins camp. So this gives them a high character guy, a leader on the defense, somebody who's going to show up early, somebody who's going to be a leader, and someone that they desperately need for a defense that is starting to get younger. So I think the Dolphins know that they need better leadership. They need players with integrity and that are going to show up and work every day and be an example to the young guys on that team. So I think the Dolphins are going to struggle to make the playoffs. I think the Dolphins are going to have a rough year. I think they're going to be chasing a 6-7 seed possibly, or they might miss the playoffs. I could see them retooling, maybe with a coaching change after this year if things don't go well. But obviously they're trying to get in the playoffs. Tua being healthy obviously plays a big role in that. But yeah, very interesting trade. Rarely do you see trades like that where it's like one player for two players. Usually it's like a player for picks or multiple picks being involved, stuff like that. But very good, very interesting trade. I really like that trade, especially for the Steelers. Gives both teams, I think, a clear direction. clear method and where they're trying to go, what they need to work on, you know, in terms of leadership or clear direction in terms of let's go get some special players who might be aging that we can get for pretty cheap, and let's go see what we can do this year, see if we can make it over that hump. So, very interesting. Next, we can talk quickly about Jair Alexander. Decided to part ways with the Packers and signed very quickly with the Ravens. I believe he played with Lamar Jackson in college, and I believe they're friends. So I think there was a little recruiting going on there, and obviously the Ravens are a very good team. So obviously he wanted to be on a team that, you know, is going to be in the playoffs, going to chase rings, and obviously the Ravens wanted him enough to bring him in, and it was honestly on a pretty good contract. I believe it's for $4 million. He could earn up to $6 million, which really isn't that bad for a starting corner. It's just going to depend on his health. If he can stay healthy, that's a very good contract. Now, can he stay healthy? That's a big question that we don't know the answer to as of late. I mean, 7 games played in the last 2 years each. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see what the Ravens can do. The Ravens and the Bills both chasing the Chiefs in the AFC. Can they get over that hump this year? I made a Super Bowl prediction that the Bills are going to beat the Rams in the Super Bowl this year. I really believe that this is going to be the year where either the Bills or the Ravens come out of the AFC. I mean, I don't really have evidence on it. Based on what's happened, they have not been able to do it. But I think if there is a year, I think this could be the year that they do it. But the Chiefs obviously are still a very solid team and have not proven to be beat in the AFC, you know, in the last few years. So that'll be an interesting thing to see as playoffs roll around. Next week's video, I think I'm going to put in. I have 10 teams for Super Bowl contention with 2 wild cards. So stay tuned for that next week, and I'll release that, and we can chat about what you guys think. In other news, it sounds like Terry McLaurin and Micah Parsons are being pursued by the Patriots. They're both having contract disputes right now, and the Patriots are reportedly interested. Obviously, who wouldn't be interested in 2 really good players? I think it's almost guaranteed that Micah will be staying. I have a hard time seeing Jerry Jones part with Micah Parsons, even if he could get a haul for him. Obviously, Micah is from Texas, and they really love him. So I think that even being called a dispute is just, you know, it's just media being media. So I would expect that to be done sometime in August, as, you know, most of the Cowboys contracts seem to get done just later than everyone else. Why, I don't know, but I would expect that to get done. Now, Terry McLaurin, that's a little more interesting because he's a high character guy. So I don't think that he's getting the contract he wants, but I don't think it's because of, you know, the person he is or him, you know, being disrespectful in any way to the organization. It's just him trying to get a longer term contract. And obviously I think the Patriots would be willing to give it to him because they want that number 1 receiver, that consistent high character guy, obviously to support their young quarterback. But I just have a hard time seeing Washington part ways with a guy like Terry McLaurin. I know they got Debo this year, but I think that they would love to have both of those guys together. They kind of do different things on the exterior of the offense. So that'll be interesting, something to keep an eye on as the offseason progresses. But yeah, a little bit of downtime here in the next month with the NFL, but it'll start to ramp up pretty soon. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Let me know any comments you guys have on this video, and I'll acknowledge them in future videos. So very excited to continue with the videos. Pretty much just doing it because I love talking ball, and hopefully you guys do too if you're watching. So yeah, let me know any comments, questions you have, and I'll post another video soon.